Lost in the mountain fog. I have always loved hiking. There is something magical about being surrounded by tall trees, fresh air, and the sound of birds above. But nothing could have prepared me for what happened during my trip to the Redstone Mountains last summer. I had planned this trip for weeks. I packed everything carefully: a tent, food, water, a first aid kit, and my favorite map. I told my family I would be back in 3 days and set off early in the morning. The first day was perfect. The sky was blue, the sun was warm, and the path through the forest was easy to follow. I took pictures, sang songs, and even met a friendly deer that stood quietly watching me before disappearing into the trees. By nightfall, I reached a small clearing near a stream and set up my tent. I fell asleep quickly, dreaming of mountain peaks and endless skies. But when I woke up the next morning, everything had changed. A thick fog had rolled in during the night. It covered the trees, the rocks, and the path. I couldn't see more than a few steps ahead of me. I tried to find my way using the map and compass, but the fog made it almost impossible. I kept walking, hoping I would reach the next marker soon. But after hours of walking, I realized I was completely lost. My heart began to beat faster. I stopped and took a deep breath. Stay calm, I told myself. You have trained for this. I sat down on a rock and studied the map again. I remembered seeing a small cave marked on it, not far from where I thought I was. If I could find the cave, I could rest and wait for the fog to clear. So I started walking again, more slowly this time, listening to every sound around me. Birds chirped somewhere above, and the wind whispered through the trees. Suddenly, I heard something else, a strange noise, like footsteps behind me. I turned around quickly, but there was no one there, just fog and trees. I felt a chill go down my spine. Was I imagining things? Or was something following me? I walked faster, trying not to look back. Then I saw something moving in the corner of my eye. A shadow gone as fast as it appeared. That's when I started running. I didn't know where I was going anymore. I just ran, jumping over roots and ducking under branches. My legs hurt, my lungs burned, but I couldn't stop. Eventually, I tripped over a rock and fell hard onto the ground. My hands were scrapped and my knee was bleeding. I sat up slowly, breathing heavily. There was still no sign of whoever or whatever had been behind me. I looked around and noticed something unusual. The fog was thinner here, and I could see the shape of a wooden post sticking out of the ground. I crawled toward it and wiped off the moss. It was a trail marker. The words were faded, but I could read them. Gridstone Cave, 200 meters. Hope returned to my chest. I got up carefully and followed the marker. After a few minutes, I found the entrance to a cave hidden behind bushes. I stepped inside. It was cool and dry. I lit my flashlight and looked around. The walls were smooth and the floor was flat, perfect for resting. I ate some bread and drank water while thinking about what had happened. Who or what had been following me, I didn't know, but I was safe now. I decided to spend the night in the cave. I made a small fire near the entrance and wraps myself in my sleeping bag. Before falling asleep, I promised myself that tomorrow I would find my way back. Morning came quietly. The fog was gone. The sky was clear. I stepped outside and breathed deeply. Now that I could see, I recognized the mountain peak in the distance. I knew where I was. I followed the trail downhill, passing trees and streams until I finally reached the main road. An hour later, a ranger picks me up in his truck. "You are lucky," he said. "Many people get lost here. Some never come back." I nodded, still shaking a little. "I think something was following me," I told him. He gave me a strange look. "Some say this part of the forest is haunted," he said quietly. "Old stories about a man who disappeared many years ago. People say he still walks the trails at night." I didn't say anything. Maybe it was just an animal, or maybe it was something else. When I finally got home, I placed my map on the wall. I added a new note next to the redstone cave. Adventure number 1. Survived. And guess what? I'm already planning my next trip. Because even though I got lost, I also found something important: courage. And maybe, just maybe, there is another story waiting to be written.